And without the earthworms doing this job, more soil would be lost because of the weather and the amount of land where you can grow crops would be less in quantity. Particle is a small part, right? Lost to the elements. What is the elements? The elements means the weather, especially wind and rain. Arable means related to agriculture, farming, all right, and especially growing crops rather than keeping animals or growing fruits or vegetables, all right. So what is this part? The second function of the earthworms, which is what? Making soil cohesion possible. Provide for means what? It means make something possible. Provide for soil cohesion means make soil cohesion possible. When soil passes through the earthworms, that means when they eat it and it's let out, it comes out from the bodies with a sticky substance that is slimy, and this slime helps put together the particles of soil together, and so it prevents the wind and water from eroding, gradually destroying the soil. And without the earthworms doing this, more soil would be lost because of the wind and rain, and the amount of land where we can grow crops would be reduced. Okay. So what is this part about? This part is about the third function of the earthworms. They are the recyclers of decayed matter. What is decay? Decay means to gradually destroyed by a natural process. That's decaying. Okay, decayed matter resulting from the decomposition of organic life, such as trees, plants, leaves, nuts, berries, and fruits that fall to the ground, gets mixed in the soil through what the earthworms do. Decayed matter coming from decomposition. What is decomposition? Decomposition is the process of decaying. Decay, process of decay. When a living thing changes chemically after dying. That is decomposition. Organic life. Organic means related to living, life, okay? So when trees, plants, leaves, etc. decay, they fall to the ground. It gets mixed with the soil by what the earthworms do. This matter is the decomposition, okay? And the soil around it, or this matter could be the mixture, okay? Passes through the actions of earthworms. It means it's carried by what the earthworms do, and the earthworms break it down to make nutrients. So the soil becomes rich in nitrogen, calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus, which are important for the growth of plants and microorganisms. Nitrogen, what is this? This is a colorless element without any smell, and it mostly exists as gas, and it composes 78% of the Earth's atmosphere, and it's in all living things. Calcium, what is this? This is a soft white element it's in bones and teeth, okay? And it's also in limestone, chalk, and marble. Magnesium, what is this? This is a light, silvery white metal, okay? And it makes a bright white flame when it burns, okay? Phosphorus, this is a dangerous, okay, yellowish white element, okay, and it glows slightly and it burns when it touches the air. These many things that the earthworms do gets together and produces the rich nutrient-filled soil that is very important to the growth of crops, bushes, and trees. All right. So what is this part about? This part is about the third function of the earthworms. They are recyclers of the decayed matter. The decayed matter coming from the chemical process after a living thing dies of organic life, such as trees, plants, leaves, nuts and berries and fruits that fall to the ground, gets mixed in the soil through what the earthworms do. And this mixed matter and the soil around it are carried by the actions of earthworms, which break it down to make nutrients. The soil becomes rich. They have a lot of nitrogen, calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus. All of them are important for the growth of plants and microorganisms. These many actions by earthworms are put together, makes the rich nutrient-filled soil that is very important to the growth of crops, bushes, and trees. Do you understand? Okay. Which of the sentences below best expresses the essential information in the highlighted sentence in the passage? Let's look at the highlighted sentence. As the worms, when the worms tunnel, go through the earth making tunnels, they make spaces where air and water can reach the lower part of the soil, and so provides nutrients to the microorganisms that live there. So 3 pieces of information. When the worms go through the earth, they make spaces where air and water can go down to the lower part, and this provides the microorganisms with nutrients. Okay, let's look for a sentence with all these pieces of information. As the earthworms go through the ground, they move soil up from the lower levels so that it may be enriched by both the air and water. This is about the earthworms. When they travel underground, they make tunnels. It's not about them moving the soil up, so A is not the answer. Microorganisms like earthworms help the enrichment of soil by enabling it to get more air and water than it normally could. This is close, but microorganisms here is not the earthworms. The earthworms, by making a passage of air and water, provides air and water to provides nutrients to the microorganisms. Microorganisms are not the earthworms, so B is not the answer. Open spaces in the soil are made possible by the presence of both air and water. So earthworms are able easily to tunnel through the ground. This sentence is about the earthworms making these passages. It's not about the air and water making the space and so earthworms can get through it easily. It's not about that. So C is not the answer. One byproduct of earthworms' underground movements is that they make possible the air and water to go deep in the soil and help improve it. What is a byproduct? Byproduct is a product which is produced by manufacturing or processing another product. Do you understand? It's something that is not intended. So why do we say it's a byproduct? It's because the earthworms don't intend to make those passages. They just, it's just the things that they made while they travel through the ground. So D is right. D is correct. So is the answer. The word arable in the passage is closest in meaning to what? Arable. Even if you don't know the meaning, let's try to infer from the passage. The amount of arable land. Without earthworms doing this work, more soil would be lost to because of the wind and rain, and the amount of arable land would be reduced. So this is a land which can be what? Which can be like used for a good purpose. So you can find that. Farmable. Okay. So this is farmable is a good answer, appropriate one. Okay. Cultivated is similar, but cultivated is a past participle. If you say able to cultivate, it can be close to the answer, but you can't say cultivated. Okay. Cultivate means to what? Prepare land and grow crops. Manufactured, no. Created, no. So the answer is A.